Let's see here. All right, give me a second here. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and present. And just for those of you that I may see here, all right, there you go. I will be popping in that link later on in the chat for the attendance. So don't stress out about it. We're going to be good to go. All right, so here we go, guys. So this is going to be Book Creator. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how this can serve you in many ways. It really is a blank canvas that you can use. And I know I did get an email from a teacher stating how they use, you know, comic strips and things of that sort. This would fall right in line with what you may be doing. You may see that this may have possibly some additional features than what platform you may be using. But again, I just want you to think of this as a tool. So I'm just, everything that I present to you is really a tool to just enhance or amplify what you may already be doing if it does serve you. So don't feel that, oh, I need to use this and they're just adding and adding this on. No, these are just tools that for myself, I believe can really benefit not only you, but it can benefit your student greatly. So let's go ahead and log into Book Creator and I'll show you the way this goes. It's just bookcreator.com. And I will log it here. And you do have a free account. Teachers have a free account. However, one caveat or one thing that I want to show you is that on the free account, you only have a limit of 40 books. Now, I don't know if many of you are going to really create 40 books. It just all depends on what you're doing. But I would highly recommend you use these wisely. You don't have to use 40 books. You have unlimited pages per book. So you can continue like doing like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and just really just so you can maximize that. At the end, this can serve, excuse me, as a repository for some of the lessons, even for yourself, some of the links, your own resources, and you have them in a digital format that you can share with your students and they can read. But we're going to get into a lot of that fun stuff right now in just a second. But I do want to point this out right now that you see on the main page, they have this remix. And this is what I love about this. Teachers, you no longer have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to spend time creating and saying, oh, I got to do this. And I don't want to use Book Creator because I have to create my own, cover sheet, my, book title and all this other stuff. Now they have templates for you to remix, and that's going to make your life so much easier. So what we're going to do here is when you first log into this, we're going to sign into Book Creator. And well, this is the way I signed in. Let me go back just in case. You may have to go in and just say create a free account. But really what it does, it's just going to ask you to authenticate with your Sherryland ISD email. Okay. I don't believe that I started this maybe 2 years ago. So I don't believe that you're going to have to add a lot of stuff on there. It may ask you what school you serve, your school district. Please make sure you put that, because the more that we put that in, maybe if it's something that we would continue to pursue, that teachers really need more than just the free capabilities, maybe just for discount purposes and so on. But even with the free resource, I don't want you to think about money at all whatsoever. Don't think about any of that. I just want you to focus on what you can do and create. So let me see here. It's asking for a code. It shouldn't ask you for a code if you are logging in or creating a free account. So I'll look into that, Ms. Overstreet, but it should not ask you for a code. All right, so let me show you what you can do here. So we can do one of two things, and let's just get into the basics. I'm going to create a new book, and notice what you have available here. You have all of these types of books, and I had a teacher that called or sent a message saying, oh, I do comic strips. Well, now you have a 2x3 comic, 1x1 or 1-to-1 ratio, or 4:3 comic landscape. And you also have these regular books here that don't have these fancy frames. Just for our demo purposes, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and use just this regular generic 1-to-1 book. All right, that we're going to use here. But again, it's not going to be too much of a difference, and I'll show you what either one will, or what you will see in either one. On this square 1-to-1, here is our cover, and you may be asking yourself, oh, great, here's my cover. What do I need to do? How do I start creating? Well, your best friend here is just going to be this plus sign here, the orange, yellow, or yellow, orange kind of button right here. And you click on the plus, and now I want you to see the media that you can do. You can add media. You can import things. Let me show you this. You can import from images. You can search for images. You can even import maps. You can import files from your desktop. You can import from your Google Drive. All right, and let me attach that here just so for demo purposes. And always click allow. So now it'll open up your Google Drive, or you can embed links. Now, here's the beautiful part. You can embed links. You can embed Google Forms. You can embed Flipgrid. You can embed YouTube. You can embed Spark. You can embed any Google Doc, anything from Google Workspace, anything that has a link. Pretty much you can go ahead and put in here and embed, as long as it has an embed code. So we're going to go into that in just a second, okay? So this is what we'll do. We'll exit out of this and show you the rest of the media. You have your camera. So if your student, like I'll do here, wants to use this, use this picture, now that'll be my cover. And I'll get rid of that, but I just want to show you how it will load my cover. So this will be my title there. This could be my cover page. So let's just play around with this a little bit more. Now, I do want to show you that on the camera feature, teachers, this is something that's great because you can even record a video and send a message to your students, maybe even giving them instructions, or your students can go ahead and give you feedback through the Book Creator platform. Now, I know many of you use Flipgrid or may use a different platform to receive feedback from your students, whether it's video feedback or audio feedback, but I just want to share with you that this is already built in. All right, so this is the great stuff right here. So let me cancel that. Let me show you here. Now we've got a pen. So you've got several tools here that your students can use, and you've got some icons here, that we can go, oops, actually that's see how it's got the auto drawer? Or I think it's called auto draw. So let's say that I want to draw maybe, I don't know, let's see if it'll pick up maybe like a computer or a phone. If I do that, maybe you have a kid that is not great at drawing, and I am terrible here trying this. So it's probably not going to pick up, a lot of the stuff here. It's just giving you a suggestion as far as what you mean. But let's go ahead and undo that. Let's go ahead and erase this, and we can come back to that. But that's one of the neat tools that I want to share with you, that you may have students that may say, you know what, I am not great at drawing. No big deal. We can go ahead and use something from here, which is our auto draw. So let's give this a shot one more time. Maybe this time it might pick up if I do it this way, that I am doing a computer. Here, oops, let's say it was a keyboard. And now your students will have a beautiful icon that they can put here and create. Just give that special touch, whether it's you just getting in touch with your creative side and just looking for some icons that you can quickly draw. This is beautiful. This is something that's easy and neat. And of course, if you change the color on this, and we'll go back, let's say if I want to do, it'll change the color of your, let's say it's there. It'll change the color of your icon based on what you choose. And of course, you've got some magic ink here also as well. So I just want you to see the opportunities that your students have as far as getting creative. And here, of course, is an eraser. They can go ahead and erase. They've got emojis that they can put in here also as well. And of course, you've got your bucket tool. So if you wanted to put your whole bucket there and just make everything, just that color, you totally can. So I'll go ahead and click undo. Oops, let's go ahead and just click done. Let's stay here. So notice that it kept my elements. I'll just delete them here. So that is the pen tool. Now your text tool, you've got this right here, and this will be my demo. That's what I'm going to title my book, and I'll just put volume 1. Click done. There you go. And now I can make this bold actually. Click done. And if we want to change fonts, notice this little eye right here. This is our inspector tool. If I click on the inspector tool, I can go ahead and make my font bigger. I can center my font. I can change my font. So look at the beautiful tools that it has here for your students to be able to customize, or you yourself to be able to customize your cover. You can even change the color. You can add more colors here if you know the hex code, or you're just dragging here to find some colors that you like. You can totally do that. Let's go back here. You can add shadow if you want to add shadow. You can move front to back. You can lock this so it doesn't move. So it's got a lot of great stuff here that you can do for your text and for your pages. This is what you can do. So let's say that my title here, I want to go ahead and make the page, I don't know, maybe this light blue. I can change the color there. You know, maybe I want to do this purple kind of here, or whatever it is that you like. You can totally do that here with Book Creator. Now, notice that you have other categories here where you can go into comic books. So for my wonderful educator that says, hey, I want to create comics, you know, you've got some of these things, you know, templates that you can put here so you can make it a little bit more comic book like, and your students can get excited about this, you know, as they share their story. You also have paper. So if you want to make this, maybe this is a math book or a science journal that you may be creating, or your students may be creating, they can go ahead and choose that. So patterns here as well. So I just going through all of these things, guys, because I don't want you to miss out on any of this. And there you go. You've got a couple of things here. The way that you can customize your title page. Now, again, I'm all about helping you save time and be efficient, but I do want to share this with you because I want you to know at least the basics of that. But now Book Creator has really just helped the educator community by just simply giving you templates as well that you can easily remix and make your own, and your students will also be able to remix and make their own. And we'll get into that in just a second, but let's go over just some of the basics here. So here is my title or my book cover. Now I can go to page 1. Page 1 is blank. No worries. Let's go ahead and import some images here. Let's look for, I don't know, let's go Book Creator app. There you go. So here are maybe just some examples. Here's a Book Creator picture. Click add. So notice how easy it is for your students or you yourself to be able to search pictures. Let's add another picture. And this time, maybe I'll just pick, I don't know, let's pick a flask. If I have any science teachers here, I should have, yeah, here's a flask. Let's do that. So maybe if I have some elementary teachers that want to do something with clip art, you can add that clip art in here. Now, notice again, you know, this pretty much serves as a blank template that you have here. There aren't any sections. This would be a book that you would customize, and now you would be able to add your text and just say, you know, here is a flask. Click done. And then you would go ahead and put the labels there. Now, one other thing that I do want to share with you is you've got this record feature. This is the great part about this too, that you can record your voice. Here is a flask. Click. You probably won't be able to hear this because I'm not sharing the tab, but when I do play it, now I say I want to use this recording, and guess what? Maybe if you have some students that may need some help, maybe with vocabulary, they can go ahead, or you can go ahead and record the vocabulary. You can record the sentence so they can listen to it. They have it there in writing, so they're listening, they're seeing it, they can practice, they're hearing the sounds. So this is powerful right here. And you noticed how easy it was for me to simply record and pop in that recording. There is no need for another extension. There's no need for, you know, another tool, and then to be able to bring something in. Now, if you already have maybe some recordings that you've done in the past and they're in your Google Drive, no worries, because remember, we shared here where you can import your media from your Google Drive. And I don't know, maybe if you had something like voice recording, let me see if I have anything here. We'll probably find something like maybe Christmas, because I had some Christmas tunes in here. Here we go. I believe I have, here we go, like Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Select. There we go. So it just brought that in right here. It's loading it. And there we go. So let me go ahead and just stop presenting. And then I'm going to present one more time just so you can hear uh, the tab. Here we go. You should be able to hear the audio. If Miss Eddie, if you can just give me a thumbs up if you do hear it, I just want to confirm. Perfect. Thank you. So see, I brought that in from my Google Drive. This one is the one that I just recorded. Here is a flask. So look at that. Like, what an amazing tool. Oftentimes we're looking for tools, to be able to help maybe our EL population or any population that we can service, because you can use this for any student. I mean, just across the board. It's just a wonderful tool to be able to do that, and you have that capability here. Now, again, I'm showing you what the blank book would look like as far as the pages and the setup and so on. So again, if you want to go to a new page, you totally can. But let's go ahead and go here. Here's my book that's done. When I click play, now if I want to share my book, I can put this on, project it, and I can control it from my computer. And if I have the speakers, or if I'm doing a Google Meet, the students will be able to hear the audio. You're going over some things. Here is a flash. Or you can also publish this online. All right. So once you publish this online, you can share this link with your students. And maybe it's a resource that you want them to just go through. Maybe you have some exercises, like I mentioned, those resources that pertain to your course, your class, notes, things that maybe you want to front load ahead of time. And the beautiful part about this, guys, is that link, you can pop it into your Google Classroom and you can front load a lot of stuff. Now, again, I'm just throwing ideas out there for you, but in the end, putting this in your hands, you have complete control, creative control to do with this what you like, and and see how it can serve you for what you are already doing, and maybe some innovative possibilities or innovative ideas that you may have for Book Creator. So this is great because you're going to be publishing this, and that's wonderful. So you yourself become an author, a digital author, but also even your students, when they create a book, they can go ahead and publish their book, and then they can go ahead and share it. So we'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. But I wanted you to see this feature here that when I click play, it says read me. So if I click here, here is a flask. So notice that if you had all text here and you're sharing this with a student, they can click read to me, and maybe we have some students that may need that service. Well, now Book Creator has this reader built in that can help your students. So that, to me, right there also is just something great that Book Creator has done. Again, you can go into just a different setting here where you enter full screen mode, exit full screen mode. You can change some settings here where if you want side-by-side pages, we can turn that off and then it'll just go one page at a time. Or if you wanted to go back to side-by-side pages, we can turn off the highlight word if you don't want it to highlight word. Play multimedia. So if you notice that when it said read me, it read the text and it also played the multimedia automatically. Well, maybe you don't want the Book Creator to read or to play the multimedia automatically. We can turn that off and allow for the students to manipulate the media and listen to it when it's needed. All right. And turn pages automatically. You don't have to have it turn the page automatically. You can have the student manipulate, or you yourself, if you are presenting this, you will be the one that is in charge of flipping the page And here's the great thing too, guys, the speed. You can adjust the speed as needed. Okay. Now here, the read to me voice, you've got your English. So now we've got a couple of voices here. We've got Mark that we can change this to. Yeah. Mark sounds a little bit better. I like the voice that Mark has. Now let's check out Zero. I think Mark sounds pretty cool, but again, it's up to you depending on what your preference is or what you may see that your students may prefer. So that is something that is great there. So maybe for our librarians that may be in here at the moment, I mean, you can create maybe your library procedures here, and you can have this on your library page, and it's a nice digital book that your students can go through, and it can be read to them. Maybe it's something that you might be able to front load already ahead of time. And so as your students come in for a new school year, you have some procedures there for them. Now that's just the librarian aspect, but really that can go across the board to any of my wonderful teachers that are here today also as well. I know that you guys have just amazing creativity. So try it out, use it, get clicky with it, see what you can do, because it really does allow for a lot. So let's go back now just to the books, and let's create a new book real quick, just so you can see now the square comic, so you can see the difference. So here's our square comic, but let's go to did I do something? That's my cover page, page 2. That's interesting. Let's go back here real quick. It added landscape, but usually with these, it should have those boxes, but I'm not sure if that, and of course it had to happen to me today, but it should have those boxes here. So let's see oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Comics. Here you have your panels. I apologize for that. So again, you've got your media. So notice the difference here. When you're using the comics, you've got a couple of extra features, and this is why the comic will be great, because this way you don't have to stress out as far as how I was showing you creating a book, and you really don't have any outlines, you don't have any boxes, you don't have any of that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this here. So what we'll do is we will go to panels, and notice the types of panels that you can choose from to kind of give it that comic feel. But since I'm very square, I'll go ahead and choose this one right here. And now you get to work in these boxes. Now you can unlock these boxes if you'd like. So you can go ahead and change the shape of what you see here. But I love this. Look, here we go. Let's try this. Take a picture. So there we go. So there's one picture. Now let's say if we want to add an image, a Batman comic, and see what happens. Oh, here we go. Clip art, we'll add that. Hey, why didn't it add it? Oops, something went wrong. Refresh page. Of course, it had to happen to me today. There we go. So there's our Batman. And here we can move this down right there, so we can kind of put our image there and make that a little bit smaller, resize it. So that's the beautiful part about this right there. And of course, we can always go to our inspect here, and we can add some text. So you can add a caption and just put in like, boom, click done. So there you go. And again, you can go to your inspector, make this bigger, give it that comic feel. And then notice here again, where I said you can change this or move it to the back. Let's click back. And maybe I didn't want to move it to the back, actually. I want to move my Batman to the front. Or actually, we'll do that right there, just because it is a box. So we can go ahead and make some changes here. And again, just getting creative with it. So you've got your speech, or your little thought bubbles. And I can adjust this a little bit more here. Let's move this here, and then I'll add some text. Actually, I can just click here, say this is a terrible picture, but it's all right. I don't mind. I don't mind putting myself out there. There you go. So you've got that going on. And then, of course, you can continue adding to this as much or as little as you'd like. Okay, now we can go on to the next page. Again, if you want to go into a different type of panel, or if you don't want to use a panel, you don't have to. Maybe now you want to do this and you can use this either for science, where you've got, the life cycle. So you can go ahead and bring in the life cycle of a butterfly, the way it may start. You can add additional notes here. Again, the possibilities are endless here, guys. Let me show you some of the shapes too that you can bring in here. And of course, maybe you're doing math and you want to do vocabulary and you found this shape here. Now we can go ahead and pop that in there and you can add some text if you need to. And you can go ahead and put the name here. And this is a what? Hexagon. Again, guys, I'm just giving you a brief overview of what can be done here. But in the end, this being in your hands is going to be wonderful. Now, one thing I want to show you here as well is, notice I can record. Click done. And that's exactly what it'll put in that box. So that'll save you some time as you're creating this. You can just speak it and it'll go ahead and pop that in there for you. Let's see what else you can do. You've got stickers. So since we're like in the comic mood, we can go ahead and put in some stickers here just to add a little bit of effect based on what you may be doing. You can resize this again for your canvas or actually your book. So maybe the landscape might work a little bit better if you're really going to dive in deep with creating the comics, just to give you some more space within your boxes and so on. So that is something that is wonderful there. And again, you can always have your backgrounds to just give it that little extra comic feel and really make it pop, and the students can get real excited about this. So that is something else that you can do there. So again, really, if you notice, Book Creator, as simple as it may look, you can really do so much. And oftentimes, guys, it's the simplest looking tools oftentimes can give you opportunities to do so much. And one thing also that I wanted to share with you, which like I said, for links and things of that sort, is even when you put in text, I wanted you to see that you can go ahead and send a link here to something else outside. So let's say that you want them, after they read the book, you want to send them over to a Google form. You can totally put that here, the web address, click save. But what I'll do is this, attendance. There you go, highlight, hyperlink, save, and now I click done, and now that becomes an active link when I do share my book. So again, wanted to go through that with you. And here's my book. Okay. Now notice here, I can change the title here. Let me put in my comic demo, which is terrible because I didn't even put a title on it. But now I want you to see a couple of things. I have the share button right here. So I can share this and we can all collaborate on this. All right. But of course, it's going to ask you for a free trial and all that. So those are some of the features that we will not have available here as far as the creative, but you can start a free trial and you get 90 days to connect, and so on. But again, that's something that we would need to purchase. And of course, I'm all about the free stuff, just because this would be a library for you to have. So let's go back here. You can go ahead and publish this online, and I'm going to go ahead and publish this online. Now, this is why I want to publish this online, just so I can show you. Right now, by default, is private, and that's great. I want it private because this is probably the worst book that is probably out there in history that has been created. But again, it's just for demo purposes. So I'm going to give this a description, and I will put here Book Creator Demo. I'm going to save it as private. And it says here, allow remixes. We're going to talk about the remix, but really the remix is if there is an educator out there that creates something and you want to use their template, you can remix it and make it your own and change some things change some wording, and that way you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But if you say, you know what, I don't want anybody else to remix this, they're like, this is the way it needs to stay and this is the way it's going to be, then you can just turn that off or you can allow it. I'm going to just turn it off for now, and I'm going to click publish online. There you go, published online. Now what I can do is I can copy this link and I can pop it into the chat, which I will, and you can test it out. If you can, click open on it. Now, one of the things, guys, that I want to share with you also is because Book Creator added analytics. But of course, you're going to have to, it says here upgrade, but we don't want that. But again, these analytics are updated, daily, but it should be in the free version. At least that's what I saw, that there shouldn't be a need to upgrade, but it says here is being read right now.
Yeah, it is. I just looked at mine.
Okay. There you go. So on this, it's just so we can show you on the map where it's being read, but you should be able to see something here that says how many reads. Then we can go ahead.
Yeah, I saw mine. It's there.
There you go. All right. So there you go, guys. So again, now at any time, if you'd like, you can change this to public, or you can say, you know what, I don't want this out there. Maybe I want to rework the book, edit. Just click stop publishing. And now it's already stopped publishing. And now it's not out there. That link will no longer work. At least it shouldn't work, with that link. So that is what you have available there. So let me show you just a couple of other examples I'll show you how to get that. But this is one that I did for this year. At least I wanted to share this or use this. And basically it's the Google Level 1 certification where it walks you through everything. So this was my attempt at Book Creator when we were in lockdown for 2020. But then at the end, I just found Google Classroom to be a lot easier for me to do the tasks and get everything submitted to me. But I had so much fun with the possibilities here and everything that I was able to do to say, wow, look, I can create a book. I can create a resource that has different tasks, different resources for teachers, and share with them, these things that they need in order to prepare for their level 1 examination. So that is something that you can create. And I did this from scratch. But now, like I said, Book Creator got so much cooler. So if I go back here to new book and I go to templates, look at this right here. This is the beautiful part. You've got a newspaper template. So maybe for history teachers, maybe if I do have any here and you want to do something that's kind of related to your reading, current events, something that's happening there, you can use a newspaper template. You've got a notebook, fiction. You can even create a yearbook for free, digital. Students don't have to pay for it. But of course, then at the end, once that access is gone and it gets unpublished and anything happens, then they don't have that copy. However, it'd be great for you, like teachers that document stuff throughout the year and say, hey, we went on this field trip. We did this activity. We did something like this. It'd be great to have something like a little in-class yearbook that you can share with parents via Remind, and they can see and say, wow, look at what my students are doing. And you're engaging the parents too. And then you're giving your students a genuine audience. People are seeing what they're doing, what they're creating. And it's just maybe a little, I guess, something different than just maybe a newsletter. Again, I'm just sharing with you just some possibilities that you can use. But again, at the end, you guys are going to be the creators and you guys can, use these. Now, neon themes, retro themes, all of these themes. So let's go ahead and go maybe with this notebook theme. It's already here. You can use this and you can start creating, and then you can go ahead and put here, this notebook belongs to, we'll just put Mr. Mendoza. And now I can go ahead and start creating there. So you've got a couple of things there where, let's go back over here. All right, where we can go ahead and, sorry about that. I know I had seen something here where, sorry about that. With the moving and editing, if you do a right click, you should be able to move and edit anything. But let's go to shapes. You can add your shapes. Again, you can add media. So again, that's just a template for you. But wait, there's more. This is what I wanted to share with you in just a second. We'll come back to that in a bit. But again, just to get some ideas, teachers, Discover. If you go to Discover, you're going to be able to see books that have already been created by wonderful educators that have been vetted by Book Creator, and you already have all of this right here. You've got some math, you've got some ELA, language, special education, social studies. So let's click on, let's see what's here in special education. If I click in here, oh wow, look at that. You already have stuff in Spanish. You've got an all about me. You've got things here that you can kind of look and see and say, hey, does this work? Does this not work? Or just to give you some ideas. So let's open this book by Martha Robles. And I can go ahead and click read now. And notice she's got analytics on. So there's going to be 862 reads. And I can read this now. Or remember, I can just click. Well, maybe the Spanish doesn't work too well, but you have something here that you can share and notice just to get some ideas, what they're doing with Book Creator. All right. So again, it has resources for you teachers, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. They have the learn option for you, so you can kind of go in through here and just start creating and getting some ideas. But this is the remix portion that I wanted to share. This is what really got me really excited. And look, they even have SEL template books that you can use today. So I know SEL is going to be a big thing, guys. So here's a resource that already has resources for you too as well. So hopefully some of those resources will be good for you. So let's check out those books to remix. This is, when I saw this, I was blown away. And this is free, by the way. So you've got diaries here. You've got a travel guide, the Big Book Creator activity book. And notice what this has, 50 plus book creator activities. So teachers that are here today, look at this. Let's open this book up. 34,000 reads. Let's read it. I'm not going to remix anything. But if you wanted to remix this and make your own personalized edits, you totally can. But look at this. You've got anagrams. You're the teacher, choose a topic, give a 2-minute presentation. The best pet. And then it's just a scavenger hunt. And then, like I said, students will be able to see this and they will be able to, excuse me, edit this. And that's the great part about it. Look at this. Now, even you as a teacher, you can just use this as a template to put in your own resources. And you can show this rather than showing a Google slide or maybe some form of presentation. You can use this as a presentation tool as well. So that's something that's great. But if you said, you know what, I kind of want to make this my own, click remix and say, yeah, I want to go ahead and add this editable copy to my books. And I'm going to go ahead and put copy to library. Now I'm going to go to my library. And now look, it says the Big Book Creator Activity Book by Alfonso Mendoza. And it's loading. Obviously, there was a lot of content in there, so I don't blame it for taking a while. But there you go. Now you click on the pencil or pen icon, and now you can go in here and change this for your class. So you can change this to the science big book creator and things of that sort. So, okay, it says I cannot see the page you are on. Is anybody else not seeing the page I'm on? Maybe, right? Let me go ahead and, okay. Sorry about that, guys. It's because I forgot that I changed tabs. That's my bad. I do apologize for that. Left you out in the dark. I apologize. It happens. Now it's an official Google Meet. When the presenter messes up that bad, we are officially in a Google Meet. So let me show you again real quick where we can find all of this. All right. So we're going to go to Discover, and under Discover, that's where you're going to have examples by grade level of books that teachers have already created. And you can see how in depth they go with this. You can also see examples by subject here, which they already have available. So let's say you're an ELA teacher. And again, this does not mean that these are aligned to our standards in our curriculum. What this is, it's a resource that a teacher saw fit to create, and they're sharing it here in hopes also to inspire other teachers such as yourselves, you creative teachers that are here. So you can go ahead and look at some of these examples that are here to kind of guide you and see what it is that you can do. Okay. Now, the main thing that I was really excited about, that I am so sorry that you didn't see that tab, was here under Discover, the remix. Now you don't have to reinvent the wheel, teachers, at all whatsoever. You already have some of these books that you already have for yourself, or that other, educators, and you can read up about these educators too as well. And they tell you a little story about their templates. The Merrills, these guys are great. If you ever follow them, huge Flipgrid people, word walls, interactives, and so on. So let's look at their science experiments. We'll go ahead and click read now so we can check out their book. And notice they give you observable properties. They give you a page to write down some notes. So this really is just kind of, it's so simple, so easy. But maybe you say, I want to use something like this. Maybe this is the template that I would like to use, but I just want to remix. You can totally click remix, say that you want this to go to your books, and it's going to copy it to your library. Go to your library now. And now when you click on this pencil here, it's going to load. Taking a while. There we go. Now you can go ahead and remix this journal and say that you like the cover. You're good. But I want to go ahead and let's see here. Oh, they actually made this into a huge image like PDF. But again, they're just kind of giving you an idea of what you can do there. Let's go ahead and go to text. And it's not going to allow you to change the text here. But here, you can change all of this. Maybe you want to change this experiment. You want to change the way it looks. Maybe you would like some of these materials that you have here. And now you can go ahead and edit and remix. Now let's find something a little bit better, guys, that might have some more pages. Here, digital portfolio. This is great. Portfolios I'm a big fan of, that students can go ahead and create a portfolio throughout the school year, and they can see their growth from where they started. And it's a living, breathing learning artifact that you can share with your administrators, or share, for any other meetings, or just to share with parents to showcase what the student is doing. And they have here section A, section 2, section 3, section 4. And you can go in and edit if you click on remix. But look at this. Great way that you can create a portfolio. Notice all the badges here that this teacher has also as well. All right. And again, if you like this, just remix it, send it to your books, and make it your own. Now, let's talk a little bit about how we can get some of our students involved with this too as well, because I'm showing you how you as a teacher can go ahead and use this to create for your own purposes. Maybe it's something that you just want to do. Like, again, you have the option of creating resources, front loading some things, and then you would publish online, and then you can share. Notice that you can even print this book. So let me show you what this would look like if you ever needed to print and you wanted to print it as a material for a student. It will allow you to print. Just keep in mind, if you need a physical copy of this, I'll show you this here as well. If you need a physical copy of this, just be aware of the pages that you may be using, the number of pages. You don't want to overwhelm them with a lot, but if it's something that works for you, print it. And again, anytime that you put in Adobe Acrobat or anything here, you can always change this to Cami, and then you can edit all of this also as well using Cami. So there is another use case for that as well. Excuse me. All right. So now that we've got our libraries, you can create a new library as well. So you can, it says, I believe you can only have 2 libraries that will be here. But now shared with me, you can join somebody else's library if you give them a code. So what you will do for on the, as far as us as teachers, we will go here to I'll go to demo. And now it says here, I can invite, here's the invite code so that I can go ahead and invite my users. So I can pop this in to Google Classroom if I wanted and say, hey guys, make sure that you are part of my content library. Here's the link in Google Classroom. Your students can join and they can go ahead and read your content. Maybe there's a book that you want them to follow, resources that are in that book. You have some how-to guides, whatever the case may be for your students. Now, I'm going to open up the student side of this real quick. Here we go. And as a student, I am going to go to Book Creator. Here we go. There we go. Now, if you notice, my student is able to see everything that I've done because I've added them to my library. But I want to show you that this is the student just going through your resources, your procedures. But now the student can go in here, and as a student, I can go ahead and create a book as well. So now let me just add something real quick here. I'll add a panel, and then just I don't know, just this, we'll put that there. Some more stickers. This is awesome. All right, there we go. And let's just say that, again, this is just for example purposes. Here's the student creating their own book. They can go back to their own books here. So here's the thing that students have the option of right here. If they go here, they can go to this grid view. So it looks really nice, a nice bookshelf. But I want you to notice one thing. The student created the book, and where did it go? I can see it here in Mr. Mendoza's library. So let me go back to my book creator library and notice that I can see my student's book. And then now I can go in here and maybe as a teacher, we're collaborating. I can go ahead and add resources in here and we're working together on this book. So that right there is something that is great. Now, Alfonso Mendoza, the student account, can also publish this book online. And then I need to give it a title, Demo 1. There you go. So now they can give me this link as a teacher. They can submit this link to me and then I can see, what they're doing. But they can also have this and share with, the community. Like maybe they want to share within class and say, hey, let's see your books. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what you're doing, what you're creating, and you're able to see their library. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, what if the students are out there creating, a bunch of stuff and that we shouldn't see? I want to let you know they're using the Sherryland ISD account and you have invited them to your library. So now, at least on the safe side, whatever it is that they create that they're submitting to you is going to be proper or it's going to be appropriate, because anything they create is going to go into your library. So we're good there. The issue would be is if they use maybe like a personal account and stuff like that. But keep in mind, that is out of our control if they're using that. Okay. So I want you just to feel safe that at least with the Sherryland ISD account, they'll be able to go ahead and submit, and what they submit, they'll submit it to you. Yes, ma'am. We have a question.
Yeah, I was just going to say I've been using that, and when it's through Clever, I think it's kind of covers that end of what you're saying as far as the account, because automatically it has the kids. They have to sign in through their account,
Yeah.
and then it has that roster for them And so they just visit Clever like they do when they're going to use Think Through Math, and they access Book Creator through there. So I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
Them
so that's
creating it with
perfect.
another account.
Yeah, that's perfect. And all of that there, you're right. It is going to be in Clever. So they don't have to worry about this. I was just showing you here just on my demo side, just because my account, since it's a made up fake account, it's not on Clever. But yeah, if you're on Clever and you log in, you're going to be fine. And the students, all they need is just their username and password. They'll be on there, and teachers as well. If you log into Clever, it's just your username and password. And the username is, if correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Delia or Miss Amy, is it's only the first part of your email, correct?
Yes, the same way we log in when we use Think Through Math and
Yeah, it's the same way. Yeah,
learning.com and all
for Think
those.
Through Math. You're right. There you
Yeah,
go. So again,
yeah.
guys, like I said, what I shared with you today, again, it's just an overview of what can be done. I'm sharing this additional tool with you that you can get creative with. Is it something that, oh, I need to integrate right away? No, it's something that just for you to have kind of on the wayside and be like, okay, let me kind of play around with this now. Let me try something. And it's just a way for you to, again, just get creative. Maybe there is a great use case. And especially for my one teacher that emailed saying like, hey, they create comic strips. Maybe, I don't know if now this that you saw Book Creator, the functionality, the video portion, ability to add voice, that might add an additional component or layer to what you are already creating. Maybe, I hope it does, but it's just a great way that the students can publish their work and be seen as authors and kind of give that sense of ownership. So that would be great. It says here, students cannot add pages to a shared book. Exactly. They wouldn't be able to add those pages to the shared book. But if you can you try maybe, and this is worth trying, because again, through Clever, it may be a little bit different. Again, so I don't know if
It
there.
was all those features you showed. It was
Mhm.
exactly the same thing. I've been using it, and yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
Okay.
The kids don't have a problem using it. The only thing is the teacher has to go to, I don't know if teachers know how to add the little plus sign and then add. You have to go to the library and look for Book Creator, and once it's on your what is it, the teacher page,
Hmm.
then the kids are good to use. And everything you showed today,
Yeah.
I've been using that. So yeah,
Perfect.
it's
That's
exactly the
great.
same.
That's wonderful. And it's an amazing tool. What grade is it that you do? You're doing,
I'm sorry.
Miss Amy, what grade is it that you teach?
I used it last year when COVID first started for kindergarten,
There you
and
go. That's
then this year for
perfect.
first grade.
Awesome. So it's great. And like I said, it's just a wonderful tool to allow the students to create, teachers just to create too as well. So again, just I hope that, oh, and before we go to as well, like make sure that you do your book creator certification also as well. I'm going to pop in that link and you can go here. Here's your journey. So what you'll do is you can go ahead and go in through here. Let me find that exact link. I know it's here. Here we go. Jump straight to the course. It's a really short course, and they're really going to go more into in depth than what I just showed you. Again, what I did is just a 30,000-foot view over, like an airplane view over what Book Creator does, just to kind of inform you what the possibilities can be, the tools that are there. But when you go through this Book Creator certified course, you will be able to see just a little bit more in depth and actually practice what we're doing a little bit more. So that way it gives you just a little bit more comfort. Not only that, but of course, you will get a little badge. And I believe they give you a certificate that you can upload and strive. Teachers, I want to highly recommend any certificate that you do on your own, any PD that you do on your own, upload those certifications or those certificates to Strive. You have to have a digital certificate, something, that you can upload and just pop it in there and say, hey, this is my 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour credit for learning this platform. Put it in, because that goes towards your SPEC hours and all that good stuff that you need. And it's just easy PD right there. So I highly encourage you to pop those up there on Strive. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much kind of wraps up our time. And I will send you this video. I will send you again the link just in case that you may need it again. And I'm hoping that you guys really try it out. Again, it's just an additional tool to kind of think about and see how you might be able to use it. It's not an end all solution to all your problems because, of course, you know that we have various platforms that we use, but it's what is best for you, what's best for your students. But again, it's just there, just kind of in the background in case you ever need to come back to it and revisit. All right, guys. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you all. If you haven't yet, please make sure you fill out the attendance form. I did pop it in right now. All right, guys. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll stick around for like 3 more minutes, just to see in case you might have any other questions. I am stopping the recording.